I'm Lynn's physician. I first met Lynn and Smitty during the early part of Lynn's pregnancy. I asked them if I could record some of their experiences and show them to you.
Well, we're finally here after 9 months of waiting and expecting and preparing by classes. And this is a labor contraction that I am having. Smitty and I are breathing and relaxing over this labor contraction, giving me a feeling of control and relaxation, and I'm concentrating on what we're doing.
I think it's very important that the husband, that when he's labor coaching his wife, or in the process of labor coaching with his wife, that he breathes with her, and that way, like the way I felt, that I could stay right in time with her and keep the whole thing regulated and just feel like we're both in control of the contraction instead of just her.
I'm feeling really good. Like, I'm having a rather strong contraction at this point, but the contraction's not having me, you know, hollering or screaming or climbing up the walls. I'm in control of the contraction, and actually I'm enjoying myself. As you can see, at the end of the contraction, I break out in a large smile, which wasn't posed at all, but that's how I really felt. Very good. Wow, it seemed like a long time ago as I think back on it, going to the clinic every so often. As I recall, the first place that you stopped at when you came to the clinic was the weigh-in. Here, a nurse weighed you and compared your weight to your previous weight from your previous visit. And this is the best way of keeping you eating right, not too much and wrong foods or what have you. After the weigh-in, you come to an examining room, which can be very frightening if you've never been in one before. However, what takes place in there is extremely important to you, because when they do the internal examination, they take a pap smear for cervical cancer, and they also take a gonorrhea smear to see if you have CLAP. They also take blood samples to test for sickle cell anemia if you're black, and also syphilis for every person. If you relax like they tell you to, it makes the examination go much easier. Another person whom you'll see from time to time is the nurse coordinator. She helps you along with problems that you might have, questions that you might have about your pregnancy, about labor and delivery, and she prepares you for the final event. Another service is family planning, and this is available to anyone who wants to space their children. The family planning counselor describes the different methods of birth control, such as coils, diaphragms, foams, jellies, pills, etc. Also, abortion is available for anyone who desires one. Another person whom you'll see at some point in your pregnancy is the social worker, and she can help you out with any type, with financial problems or problems with your home situation, such as acquiring a babysitter when you're hospitalized or something like that. She's a very helpful person, and also they have social workers that speak Spanish for our Spanish-speaking patients. A very important person is the anesthesiologist. And this is a doctor who counsels you in the various forms of analgesia and anesthesia that is used during labor and delivery. Smitty and I had decided to go by so-called natural childbirth. Another person whom you'll see from time to time during your clinic visit, depending on how you eat, is the dietitian. She helps you with any dietary problems, such as if you're put on a salt-free or sugar-free diet, she can go within your eating patterns and help you stay within the restrictions of your diet. I saw her a number of times. However, it's very comforting to know that these exist.
Considering all the services available, I myself was very much relieved to find out that she was, being well taken care of. Right here, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning, and we have been here for about 4 hours. I just talked to the doctor, and he told me that she was 4 centimeters dilated and that everything was going along pretty good. What I'm doing is that I'm still breathing with her and counting with her in order to maintain that control over the contractions. Also, what I'm doing is I'm talking to her to find out if I'm going too fast or if I'm going too slow. And this helps in this constant dialogue between us. This helps us to stay in control over the contractions.
Oh, I am so tired. we've been going at this for such a long time, and even though I'm lying in the bed, I'm working pretty hard. But it really feels so good to relax after the contraction. And the ice chips are really nice for a nice dry mouth. It's nice that labor isn't just all one contraction, that it's contraction and a rest, and then a contraction and a rest. And in between, like during the rest periods, you can just be yourself because you don't feel anything. And it's really hip to have somebody with you to talk to, you know, in those rest periods.
We recall, you know, like a lot of places that we went to in the hospital, and it was hard to believe that it seemed like it was such a long time ago that we have went on a tour.
Here's Smitty and I on a tour of the inpatient facilities, and we're looking into the intensive care nursery. And this nursery is available for infants that are sick and need special care. It's really nice to know it's available.
The patient room, it was clean, but it looked to me like it was kind of barren, but the main objective to me was that it was clean and that she would be comfortable here. I really don't like the idea of father's waiting room, but I recognize that sometimes, some parts during a labor, that it's necessary to get away and rest and regroup your thoughts a little bit. And I was also relieved to know that there was a doctor that I could talk to in the father's waiting room to reassure me that things were going along pretty good and there was no complications or anything.
In the delivery room, which is a nice part of the tour, it's sort of like the examining room, which can be frightening if you've never seen one before. However, the nurse explains the equipment and what have you so that you'll be very confident when you're brought in, when you're actually ready to deliver the baby. And it's very comforting to know that the equipment there is to help you and the baby. The recovery room is just what it says, recovery room. After you've done a night's work or a day's work, you're brought in here to recover, and also the nursing personnel checks your vital signs every 15 minutes to make sure that nothing's going wrong and that you're recovering. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and Smitty's giving me a piece of hard candy to keep my strength up. And I put it in my mouth, but you'll see in a second that the contraction starts and that does away with the candy. The contractions now are pretty powerful, pretty strong, but we're still very much in control, and we're still doing the same type of breathing. Smitty's really helping me along, making me comfortable, helping me to concentrate on the breathing and relaxation, giving me ice chips and hard candy in between contractions, arranging pillows and everything. And you see the communication that's between us, between the eyes and what have you. It was really hip. Here I belch in the middle of the contraction, and we really thought it was funny. So as you can see, these were really, really powerful contractions, but we were still able to laugh and be ourselves in the middle of them. This is the benefit of learning how to breathe correctly and relax correctly. The contraction is coming to a close pretty soon, and as you can see by my breathing, it's like coming down the side of the hill. And it really feels good. And I keep feeling like this is another contraction towards having my baby. The contractions themselves are on a picnic, but during each contraction and after each contraction, I really feel that Smitty and I have really accomplished something. It really feels good. Oh, that felt good. And now I reward myself with a piece of candy.
It's about 8:15 in the morning, and contractions are really rough. We're in the stage what you call transition now, so we had to change our breathing pattern. But we still have still a whole lot of control over our contractions.
That was a rugged contraction. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I felt like the contraction was almost up over me. However, we're still in control. And Smitty was extremely important to me at this time because it was only by his strength and his labor coaching that kept me in control of the contraction. I was hot. I was fiercely hot. I was cranky. I even took the nurse's hand when she placed it on my stomach and threw it off of me. I threw my clothes off of me and everything.
One of the things I remember most about this contraction was that when she first started getting cranky, and it was almost to a point of driving me up the wall about it, but I recognize this is a part where we recognized we didn't have too much longer to go, and this was the most important part. So we changed our breathing patterns and still had control over our contractions.
The only way I could really get through this stage of labor was not only by baby Smitty's coaching, but also by the fact that the baby wasn't too far off. This is the hardest stage of labor, but it's also the shortest stage. This is really a rough contraction. I'm starting to lose control. I'm forgetting about how I'm supposed to breathe and relax. But watch Smitty, how he just like holds my eyes and gets me into the correct breathing and relaxation, because that was the only way that I was going to control the contraction. If it wasn't for him, I would have just climbed up the walls and screamed and yelled. And
at this point, I started getting, from constant breathing with us, I was starting to get what you call hyperventilated. But I still kept on breathing because I was concerned about trying to keep her having control over those contractions. We had finally made it to the delivery room, and I had notified the doctor that she was feeling the urge to push. And en route to the delivery room, I don't remember somebody giving me a hat and a mask. All I remember is that I was wind up in a delivery room, and what I'm doing here is holding her up and pushing with her. And I felt that I was at one point delivering the baby myself.
Smitty was counting for me so I'd know how long to hold my breath. And even though my face is all screwed up and it looks like I'm in intense pain, I wasn't feeling any pain whatsoever. All I was just working real hard. And the doctor was down at the foot of the table catching the baby as it was coming out. But I was pushing. I've never worked so hard in all my life, but it just felt so good because this is the biggest urge that I've ever felt. And I wasn't feeling any pain, and I was just working so hard. Like you can see all the sweat rolling down from my face, and my face is turning bright red. And it's because I was working so hard. And right there, the baby's head is crowning, and that's why I'm looking sort of shocked, because it felt weird.
One of the things that amazed me about this was that cleared up any doubts that I might have had was that during between the pushes that I saw that she was able to relax and wasn't feeling any kind of pain or what have you, and this cleared away any doubts that I had about the whole procedure.
The doctor right there, as you can see, he's waiting for the baby to emerge. And he was really giving us very good support. Like, the doctor's really tremendous. I mean, he played his part in the whole experience very well. And here I am pushing again, and I can feel the baby coming out. And I'm really excited, and I feel a real strong sense of satisfaction that I'm achieving something. It was really the most hip thing I've really experienced. And Smitty's really helping me. And here she is. And I'm relaxing. Now I see the baby. I'm saying, oh, my baby. Right now, even though you can't see the baby, the doctor is suctioning out her nasal passages to help her breathe. And she's really beautiful. I can see her down at the foot of the table, and she might be all slimy and a little bloody, but, you know, she just looks so beautiful to me. And Smitty's so wound up in what I'm doing that he's not even looking down at the other end.
It was at this point that even though I was trying to be cool about it, I just felt a whole lot of joy, and I started making attempts like to try to kiss Lynn, or even fumbling with my mask until somebody got the bright idea and told me to take my mask off. Then they told me to put it back on. But at this point, I just felt a whole lot of joy and excitement, and I just was beside myself.
I'm not a real gushy person, but I just couldn't contain it all there. I was just hollering and screaming because I was just so excited that, you know, here's my baby, and Smitty and I had actually worked together to push her, and there I just touched my baby for the first time. My doctor was so kind and held her out to me so I could touch her, and here's the big reward for what we've done. We were just ecstatic. I just couldn't control myself. You know, just screaming. I just felt so good. I've just never felt so good in all my life. And Smitty experienced the whole thing with me. I just, any other babies that I have, I all want to have them this exact same way. And here she is, Ericka. In this scene, we're trying to breastfeed the baby, and, well, it was rather fumbly. The nurse was helping.
Well, at this point, I had a feeling that there was nothing more that I could do, and I didn't like that feeling, so I just felt I had to do something. So I even made an attempt to try to help Lynn feed the baby, even though I couldn't actually feed the baby, but I had made an attempt to try to help her feed the baby. I wanted to take my part in it.
It was really sweet, all three of us here together, Smitty, myself, and Ericka, for the first time. And here he is, he's trying to get my breast in her mouth. We're really having a little problem there, but it was really cute. And here we are again, feeding, still trying to get the baby to eat. She wanted to suck. It was just my problem of getting the breast in her mouth right. It takes a little practice. But all in all, we were all really happy. And here's Smitty helping again. And the nurse is helping too. Here's Ericka, 10 weeks old, and all dressed up for our debut in the motion picture world. And I'm trying to get her to smile. But all in all, what we really wanted to do, we had such a tremendous experience that we wanted to bring it to you and show you how childbirth can really be a hip thing, if you really work together at it. And there she is, the end result. So now let's sit down and talk about this.